What's up, guys? Mason the Brock Henderson here, and it's the first time I've been able to catch my breath recently. That was way too close. That was, oy, that was frustrating to watch on many levels. Um, so, from an overview point of view, I'd have to say that this game, it was a good one. We did well to score early on in the first half, and then we did well to hold the lead after that, and then went down to 10 men and did well to hold the lead again. So it was nice to see that. It was nice to see that the way we worked the ball to score the goals. Artists did well to get down the line, not send it in early, actually beat a man and then cross it. Dempsey did well to find the pocket of space to finish it. People made good runs. It was a well worked goal. And then on top of that, we had some good defensive moments as well. Brooks stopping the 3v1 was incredible. Couple other moments where it feels like, oh no, they're about to break through, and then there's a good challenge or good tackle to stop the breakaway. So overall, I'd say it's a good result and a fairly good performance, but it's just too nerve-wracking. I mean, there's no other way to put it. It really is a very nerve-wracking experience to go down to 10 men and then have to hold that 1-0 lead. I mean, yeah, even if we tied, it would be extremely unlikely that Costa Rica is actually going to win, beat Colombia by, 5 goals? Which that's on now. So if I look up, that's what I'm watching, just for your information. But yeah, it was really nervous to be sitting there just waiting, just watching and waiting. And it wasn't even just nervous like, oh, are we going to give up another goal? I'm getting nervous because we don't have anybody out there to calm it down. Like if you watch some of the big teams, the big club teams, the big national teams, they have their captain be the man who steps in and calms everybody down. We don't have anybody on our team like that. Our captain is getting a yellow card for dissent. That's the type of that's what he's telling the other team, hey, it's okay to yell at the referee. I mean, that's not what you want out of your captain. You want a captain that's going to step in and calm people down. I'm getting nervous watching the entire half because you got Wood getting frustrated and, gets a yellow card because he retaliates on a guy for a challenge. Bedoya's like pushing every guy that he goes past. Jones is, his challenges are getting sloppy. Bradley, after his yellow card for dissent, is chopping at a guy's heels. I'm like, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to put us down to 9 men? It was ridiculous. And that is my biggest complaint. Good result, good performance, but we need to find somebody that's not going to lose their heads to be our captain. We need somebody as your captain who is going to calm the players down if we have bad referees, which we're probably going to, because we've had bad referees this whole tournament. Every game has had a moment where it's just like, that was a poor decision. And then some have had really bad moments. Ecuador's disallowed goal, the penalty for Chile against Bolivia. There have been several bad calls. You need a calm head, or else you're going to lose track, and then you're just going to do pretty much what Yedlin did. Just bad call gets him the first yellow, but then he loses his head and goes into a stupid challenge not even a minute, maybe a minute later. That's the type of, those are the repercussions that happen whenever you don't have a captain who calms your players down. I'm watching as Yedlin's getting the yellow, he's off yelling at somebody. Bradley's too busy yelling at the referee to even notice that. And that's one thing that I can't remember what game it was. Which game was that? I can't remember now. There was a game though. I just remember watching, and at the end of the game, everybody is just, I think it was Chile and Argentina, but everybody is just, at the end of the game, everybody's just surrounding the referees. Like they made some horrible call or something like that, and the players are just yelling at the referees at the end of the game. And I'm just sitting here, like, do something about it. One of the players needs to come up and just pull him away, because he's going to get himself a red. And that's exactly what I thought tonight. Watching Yedlin get in the face of the player, Whenever Bobby Wood gets up after that one challenge that the guy got a yellow for, as soon as he stood up, I'm like, somebody needs to stop him. Somebody needs to stop. Pushes the guy. I'm like, there's your yellow. Nobody is out there trying to calm the other players down. Nobody's out there trying to say, hey guys, just calm it down. We've got the lead. We don't need to make things more difficult on ourselves. And we almost did. We almost did several times. So that is the one biggest criticism I have right now, is that we need a calm head. We can't lose our heads again, because now effectively Yedlin is out for the rest of the tournament because we have less of a chance now. Like he's a pretty good defender. He does well on his recovery runs, and we need a defender like that. We don't have another defender like that, although Brooks did well that one time. So anyway, that's the overview of it. Going individual to individual, Guzan did pretty well. He actually did have to make a few really good saves tonight, so he did well, keeping us in the lead. A lot of times 1-0 games are really dangerous because we're right on the precipice of, if we give up that late goal, they could have the momentum to go on and win it. So it was nice to see he made some saves to save the game for us. Then in defense, obviously I already talked about Yedlin. Stupid to lose his head like that after getting his first yellow. And even if whether or not he actually lost his head, I don't know. But you don't go in for a challenge like that right after you got a yellow. Or even if you're on a yellow, you don't go into a challenge like that. You don't go sliding in, even if you can win the ball. No, you don't do that. You don't. I just don't understand why that's not the first thing that. Whenever you get a yellow, that should be the first thing that comes into your mind is, I'm not going to go sliding in for any more challenges because I could get a red. Even if I get the ball, the referee can be stupid and I can get a red. Cameron did okay. The one where Brooks ended up making the sliding challenge, he got caught out. He was too busy, pushed up. I still prefer him in the midfield because of that. He's so used to being in the midfield, playing for Stoke, that's kind of where he ends up a lot of the time. He'll step up into the midfield to pressure somebody, and now Brooks is on his own in the middle. So he did okay for what it's worth. Didn't do anything crazy, didn't do anything to make me go, he deserves to come off the field. So Brooks, I think so far, is the man of the tournament for the U.S. It feels like he's always popping up where he needs to be. He's always making a good challenge. He's easily our best defender right now. He's just doing so much to keep us in games that we need to make sure that he doesn't get sent off or injured or anything like that, because we need him desperately. He is a really good defender, and he's proving it time and time again. Johnson did okay as well. Nothing horrible to report, nothing great to report. Just a couple moments there are a couple moments where he's making good challenges, and then a couple moments where he's, once again, just like Cameron, because he normally plays left mid, he's getting pulled into the midfield, and we need him back at defense. I think he's the one that on the Brooks, whenever he stopped the 3v1, Johnson just flies up trying to win the ball, and all that does is just, he's beat now. For the rest of the time, he's beat. He's done. So he has the mind of a midfielder, just like Cameron. I don't understand why Klinsmann keeps playing him back there, but he does okay. He does well enough, I suppose. Into the midfield, once again, thank you, Klinsmann, for going 4-4-2, because that is really, I think, our strongest formation right now. So on the left, you've got, I think he had Bedoya out there. And then I can't remember if he started with Bedoya out there or if they switched at some point. Anyway, the two wings are Bedoya and Zardes. Bedoya didn't do anything special tonight. In the past two games, he's been our most creative player. He's been creating a lot of chances. Tonight, he was just sort of out there. Didn't really do anything effective. But still works hard, and that's always nice to see. Zardes, like I said on the cross, very well done. I think one of the announcers was talking about a few years ago he would have just hit it first time, and I think he has become a bit smarter as a player. However, he's still not strong enough for what we need. When you think about the U.S.'s game, we're very physical. he's not very physical. He gets bodied off the ball very easily, but he's a very talented player. So hopefully he can continue to grow in his game. I can't remember how old he is. I want to say he's fairly young. I'm gonna check really fast to if I had internet because my internet sucks. Do 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 do. Okay, he's 24, so not very young, but he's still in an age where he can grow a bit more. Hopefully I don't know where he's playing professionally, but hopefully he can grow a bit more and really become an effective player for us because he does well right now. I think he can do even better. Um, then into the midfield, once again you got Bradley and Jones. I really, really, really prefer Jones at center mid. I think he's shown over the past two games that he's still got it. He's still doing very well for us. He's still able to run for a long, long time, and just really puts in a good challenge. Does very well there. Puts a lot of pressure on the ball as well. Bradley, I think tonight just sort of once again made me think he's got to go. It's just not. It wasn't even just the what I was talking about earlier. As the captain yelling at the referee, getting a yellow for dissent, and then almost getting a second yellow for hacking at a player's legs. That's not even my biggest issue. My biggest issue is just he doesn't do enough to justify him being on the field. Whenever you think about players who deserve to be out there, they're the players that are creating something. He doesn't create anything. His passes are off. His defending doesn't really help us much. If he's not hacking at players' legs, he's getting caught out of position. I don't understand why he's still out there. And it's frustrating. Even beyond that, I don't understand why he's our captain. What has he done to deserve the role of captain? That just doesn't make any sense to me. So, I don't know. Klinsmann obviously loves him. I just don't see why. I don't see why, as a player, Klinsmann still loves him and still wants him out there, because I haven't seen anything over the past 3 games that makes me think, oh yeah, I want Bradley on my team. I've actually seen more from Beckerman than I have from Bradley in this tournament. I hate Beckerman. So, up in the top, you've got Dempsey and Bobby Wood. Dempsey once again, scored the goal. He knows where to position himself. It's not necessarily something that I really like. In a forward, Ronaldo is another one of those poacher strikers who just knows where to be at the right time and doesn't really have to do a whole lot to score a goal. So I don't really like those type of strikers, but because he's doing it for our team, because he's scoring for our team, I'm like, okay, I can live with it. But beyond just putting himself in the right place, defensively he also gets back and helps out, which is very nice to see from a striker. So I would actually kind of prefer if he played more of like a center forward role instead of a striker, in behind the striker a bit. I think that would be probably his best role. And then of course Bobby Wood, I still don't like him. I still do not him. I don't like how he plays. I think he tries to beat people one-on-one and he can't. And he just, I haven't seen enough from him to think that he deserves a starting spot, just like Bradley. He scored the goal the last game, but so what? That was the one moment out of the game where he actually did something. The rest of it was just him sort of standing around. He doesn't challenge anybody. He doesn't do anything like that. He doesn't, like I said, he loses the ball because he tries to take on players and doesn't beat them because he's not skilled enough. I'm frustrated to see him out there, and especially in the second half when Yedlin got the red card. Whenever Klinsmann took out, that was different. He took out Bobby Wood. Hang on. He took off Dempsey after the red card. He brought on the right back Orozco and took off Dempsey over Wood. And I thought to myself, why? He's not going to do anything for you. He's not going to work back and help defend now that we're down a man. Dempsey's going to be the one to do that. He's the one that helps back. Why would you take off Dempsey and not Wood? So it was very frustrating to see. I would have preferred to see Dempsey just, obviously he can't go the whole game like that, but let him run himself out. Let him really work hard, because what we had was pretty much 8 of our guys back, plus the keeper makes 9. and then Bobby Wood just kind of standing up there because he's not really effective. Um, so another player that I feel like gets a bit more love from Klinsmann than he deserves. Uh, Maybe that will change. I don't know. Then the subs came on. Orozco came on to take Yedlin's place. Came on for Dempsey. Did okay. Didn't really do anything that made me think that he's better than Yedlin. Had actually a couple moments where it felt like it felt a little bit lost. I'm pretty sure he plays right back, but at times it didn't feel that way. Watching him, he seemed lost in that position. And then who came on after that? Zusi came on for Bedoya. At first I was like, why? But then they showed Bedoya like coughing or something, so maybe he had some sort of issue, had to come off. And if you're gonna do that, sure, Zusi's fine. He works hard. That's good enough. And then finally, Beckerman came on for Wood. It's really funny because I get the change. I understand, but at the same time, it makes me really sad because I'm a Chelsea fan, and so whenever Mikel came on at center defensive mid to sort of shut down the game, you bring on a center defensive mid to like shut down defensively, make sure the other team can't get forward. I understand it, but at the same time at Chelsea, I feel like why Mikel? You've got better players. For the U.S., he brings on Beckerman. I'm like, why Beckerman? We have. Never mind. Like it. In my mind, it makes sense when you really think about it. You're taking off the forward that you have. Zardes moved up there, I think. But you're bringing on a center defensive mid to make your team more defensive, to shut it down. I get it, but at the same time, it makes me really sad that Beckerman's the only option we have to put there. That's how bad our team is whenever Beckerman's the best option for that. If you don't know this yet, I'm not a fan of Beckerman or Wando for that matter, mainly because they're both MLS players. They're not really talented. They don't have a lot of soccer skill or know-how. They're just bodies on the field. But for some reason, Klinsmann always brings them up. They're always there. But anyway, long story short, this is a good result. It gets us through to the next round, which is the best thing about this. And we can still win the group if Costa Rica can manage to win tonight. But at the same time, like I said, we need to work on calming our heads. We need to work on getting somebody in Bradley's position who can do better than Bradley. Who can not only, obviously we need a better captain than him, but we also need a better center mid that can create more, that can pass better, who can really be that center mid that we need, not just, oh, he's just there. He can make the easy passes. So anyway, I'm happy with the result. I'm happy with the fact that we're through, and ultimately, I think that so far we've done well in this tournament, especially considering we didn't have the easiest group in the world. Costa Rica and Colombia are both difficult teams, and then Paraguay is not a pushover by any means. So we've done well to make it out of our group, but it was the same thing in the 2014 World Cup. We did well to make it out of that group, even better than this, but ultimately the way it ended was a poor showing against Belgium. That's the last thing that we all think of. We don't think about, oh, we escaped the group of death. We think about, oh, we lost against Belgium and we probably could have won it. It was a poor showing. So I don't want this tournament to end the same way that did. I don't want it to end with a poor showing against some team and that gets us knocked out. I want it to end on if we are going to lose, I prefer to be against Argentina because they're probably going to win, but I want us to be able to play well, and then that's the reason we got knocked out, was because the team was just better than us. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Obviously, Klinsmann's going to have to make some changes now. I'm not sure if anybody else is going to miss besides Yedlin. I know, obviously, if you get 2 yellows in the 3 games in the group stage, obviously that also gets you suspended for the next game. But I don't know if anybody had that or not. Costa Rica just went up. Yes. So who knows what the changes will be next game. Probably not a whole lot. Probably still Bradley and Bobby Wood, even though I don't want him to be. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. What changes do you want to see? What would you like to see us do? Would you like to be playing Brazil or Peru? All that stuff. Let me know. We can discuss it. Leave a like and subscribe for future USA reviews, and I'll see you at the next game.